Good morning, Seven Lakes. Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. As we begin another school day, let us take a moment to silently think about our day, our activities, and what we hope to accomplish.
Hey Spartans, welcome to the April 7th edition of Spartan Time. I'm your host, Anna Balaji. For our first segment, let's take a look at our greenhouse here at Seven Lakes.
My name is Steve Comer, and I teach pre-AP biology here at Seven Lakes High School. I started here the first year the school was open, 2005, and this is my 12th and final year, as I'll be retiring June 2nd. Last year, our instructional coach in pre-AP biology, Ms. Yamilet Arroyo, came into our PLC and asked if there were any big projects that we could write a grant for through the Katie Education Foundation. I suggested that we have a greenhouse. Every year, we spend a large portion of our budget on plants that are used for our plant unit and then discarded. With the greenhouse, we are able to keep these plants alive year after year and have to buy a much smaller number of plants each year. We use all of these plants throughout the ecology and plant units and in classification. So pretty much the entire spring, these plants are used by our students to help them understand the living world. So we have lots of things that are going on with each of these plants. This one is an interesting one. This is a young fern, a seedless vascular plant, and it's seedless, so it reproduces using spores. The spores are found under the frond. Each of those little maroon specks is a spore case.
Now let's take a look at the NSS Contributions.
UNICEF is the Children's Fund for the United Nations, and we are buying inspired gifts to help them. Inspired gifts are essentially packages that UNICEF designs, and we buy them so they have the money to create them and send them to areas that need them. We created this committee because we realized that in class we're learning about all these conflicts, all these famines, and all these problems in the world, but we weren't really taking action to do anything. So we wanted to create a committee that will actually make a difference in the world, and we found that buying inspired gifts from UNICEF was the most impactful and the most generous thing that we could do.
The World Geo classes raised money to get inspired gifts. Some of the bigger purchases that we made were water pumps, which focused on getting these communities the actual water that's safe and cleanly for them that they need. Surprisingly enough, 3 people made checks specifically to it, so we raised a lot of money. Some of the other packages were Shape the Future, which was for education and vaccinations. We also raised money for therapeutic food and milk.
Look closely. Really closely. Deep into the eyes of a child. See their hope. And ours too. Whoever she is, wherever he lives. Every child deserves a childhood. That's why UNICEF is there, for each and every child. Working day in, day out, in 190 countries and territories, reaching the hardest to reach, the furthest from help. It's why we stay to the end and never give up. Will you stand with us?
Stand with us. Stand with us. Stand with us.
For every child.
Now, let's take a look at the Tiger Rock Self-Defense Seminar hosted by our Seven Lakes Interact Club.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Zane, and I'm the president of the Interact Club here at Seven Lakes High School.
Hello Spartans, my name is Laura Johansson and I'm the Vice President of Interact here at Seven Lakes High School. So on Thursday, April 13th, after school, it's a half day, so you have time. We're going to be hosting a self-defense seminar. This is not going to be a boring mandatory thing that you have to go to and really don't want to go to. It's actually going to be fun, and he's going to teach us how to kick butt and take care of ourselves and be confident out there on the streets.
So, as Laura said, it's going to be next Thursday after school, and so it's a half day. Right after school, we're going to be down at the dance gym, and we'll be hosting the seminar there. And in fact, we've invited Tiger Rock Taekwondo place to come and teach us all this. So we're going to be having professional senseis and masters, such as Michael Reed. He's the head sensei there at the Tiger Rock next to Seven Lakes, and he's going to be bringing some of his students to help us as well. And so we hope to see you there. Make sure you dress in comfortable clothing so that you can kick some butt and all that. And so make sure to sign up at sevenlakesinteract.weebly.com. And we hope to see you there as we continue to learn how to defend ourselves from creepy guys, creepy girls, and creepy strangers.
Okay, so remember, this is something fun, laid back, and fun! So come out! Thank you.
Next, let's find out why there are mannequins scattered around the school.
You may have seen the tape sculptures around the school. We talked to the art teacher to learn more about it.
Hi, I'm Miss Gordon. I teach ceramics and sculpture at Seven Lakes. You guys have been seeing my 3D tape sculptures around the school, what my students just completed. I'm going to be talking about the process on how to build those sculptures. Basically what they started out with is a basic clear tape roll of packing tape, and they started inside out, basically flipping the tape backwards on their arm. So just like if you broke an arm or anything like that, wrapping the plaster on the skin, you took the tape and flipped it inside out, sticky side up, so that nothing was sticking to the skin. They wrapped it all the way around their arms, their entire body, not all at once, just a section at a time. So they started out with the arms or the legs, then cut it off, made all these different pieces, and then basically pieced everything together. While they were doing that, they also took saran wrap to make it more sturdy and thicker, then went back over it with more packing tape. After all the pieces were made, then they took the packing tape and put everything together to create a sculpture. They decided to pick the positioning based on sitting, standing, hanging, whichever one they were most comfortable in. After they were finished, we were looking at them and thought they looked really cool and asked Mr. Veerling if we could place them around their rotunda, and then just decided to place them throughout the school. And have been getting a lot of feedback about them and how cool they look. I've even heard some students saying that they thought some of them were portraying emotion and happiness, which is really good because that's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to create a dialogue and help the viewers to start thinking and talking, and that's what artists ultimately try to get people to do when looking at their artwork.
I'm Christopher Conklin. This is my sculpture. I built it we used it building completely out of packaging tape and saran wrap. The process of us making it was us wrapping ourselves in the packaging tape and cutting ourselves out with the scissors. And then we just kept on wrapping it until it was nice and hard. And then you connect all the body parts and you got yourself your sculpture.
I think the hardest part was the head, because I had to trust someone else to cut it off of my own head, and it was difficult to see through it, but it was a lot of fun making it. It took about 2 or 3 weeks, and I think it came out pretty good.
Now, let's check out our Seven Lakes baseball team.
Have no need to fight tonight.
On Tuesday night, our baseball team hosted Morton Ranch on our home field. The game began with a home run by Matthew Zuniga in the first inning, which set the tone for an amazing game. Your Spartans had an incredible third inning, exploding with 4 consecutive runs to take the lead for good. The 5-0 win kept our team undefeated in district as they moved closer to a district championship. After the game, we spoke to a few players to get their take on the game.
My name is Matthew Zuniga. I'm a senior. I just enjoy coming out here with a great group of guys and playing this game of baseball. Just the energy that my friends can bring out to the table each and every day, and just coming out here and just enjoying America's pastime.
My name is Max Mize. I'm a senior here. Today's game was good. We played Morton Ranch. We came out and hit the ball really hard, and my defense played well behind me, and that's how I got the win.
My name is Caleb Thompson. I'm a senior. I'm going to look forward to a state championship. We're going to go undefeated throughout the rest of the season, run roll everybody, and there's not pretty much anything else we can do except for that. We wake up and win. That's all we do. So.
For our final segment, let's learn about Texas stereotypes.
The popularity of Wild West entertainment, such as Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show, an extreme romanticized version of American frontier life, and television serials such as The Roy Rogers Show, manifested the myths and legends of valiant cowboys, wild Indians, dangerous outlaws, and many other daring adventures in the West. These myths were further exaggerated by Western novels, films, shows, and other sources of entertainment. These tall tales still exist today in pop culture and are often used to portray Western states such as Texas. So I'm asking Spartans what Texas stereotypes they've heard of. Where were you born?
I was born in Texas.
China.
California. I was born in Sugarland, but I'm actually a Mexican.
I'm from China.
Atlanta, Georgia. I was born in Sumter, South Carolina.
I'm from New Jersey.
I was born in New Jersey.
Dallas, Texas.
I was born in Cypher, Texas.
I was born in San Antonio, Texas. Here in Houston, Texas.
In Houston, Texas.
What's a stereotype that you've heard of Texas?
Everyone's Republican. There's cowboys and cowgirls, and we got a huge ego.
That we say howdy y'all a lot.
We don't actually ride tractors to school. That's probably against the law, I assume.
Probably people wearing cowboy hats and living in the desert.
That we always ride horses everywhere. Everywhere.
Just the general, Rudy Tooty Yeehaw kind of thing.
Everyone wears cowboy hats and that there's cactuses everywhere.
Cattle ranchers and farmers.
Everybody rides horses and they all say y'all and sound really uneducated.
Oh, well, when I moved here, everyone said, I hope you ride a horse to school every day.
Have you ever been subject to prejudice, and can you name an example?
That all white people are rich.
Like when you think of older women, you don't think of them being strong and independent. You just see them as the housewife, and that's a bit disappointing and sad.
Lots of northerners, they think that Texans are a little rural. They think there are a lot of farmers, which is kind of true, but not as much as they think.
All right, Spartans, that's it for today. We'll see you next time.